Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome back to Hastings Stadium for another Saturday night special. Scott Fraser joined by Neil Sriwasa up in the booth, and what a duel we have on deck for you. The Guelph Royals host the London Majors this evening in what feels just exactly like a playoff matchup, a deciding game of a postseason matchup, actually, Neil, but this one has all the weight on the line, but it's not quite postseason time just yet.
No, it's not. But, this is definitely not often you get to see the league's two best pitchers go head-to-head on your Saturday night tonight anyways. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting spot. It's Claudio Custodio takes on Jose Arias. Arias leads the league in an ERA and, of course, wins as well. Custodio, 8 wins, just one behind him there. And, of course, he's the league leader and new IBL single-season record holder of strikeouts as well with 157. Jose Arias, not too shabby either, 109 underneath his belt as well. So expect a low-scoring contest tonight for sure.
And Arias, yes, 109 to 157 seems like a large gap, but Arias' ERA off the page, 1.17 through this season so far. So he has been steady, maybe not as much of a strikeout pitcher as Claudio is, but really, really makes nights hard for opposing hitters. And the Royals, without Sean Riley tonight, will be playing with their A+-ish lineup. Pompey will be back in the lineup to lead off. DeGrace Garton will be due up in the bottom half of the first for the Royals, but they're going to have to be at their best because those London Majors on the other side really know how to hit the baseball. Jacob Newton, Taylor Wright, and Cleveland Brownlee all due up here in the top of the first, and Brownlee has been far and away, once again, undoubtedly, this league's most feared hitter, undoubtedly.
No question. Speaking of Roop Channerjat, earlier before the game tonight, it's just like he said he was a different hitter than when he came back in this league. And when he first jumped in this league, he would swing at pretty much everything. But now his plate discipline is just so uncanny. He's leading the league in home runs, leading the league in RBIs and everything else, and it's just like he's a totally different player since when he first broke in here many, many years ago.
And the guy behind him in both of those statistical categories on the season is the number 4 hitter behind him in the lineup, Robert Mullen, the catcher for the Majors. We'll see him either here in the top of the first or top of the second. Custodio starts off on Newton with a first pitch strike, which has been easy money for Claudio Custodio.
Brought to you by Secure Water Systems.
Fouls that one off.
Contacted by the
So Newton behind 0-1 and fouls the second one. He sees off yet again. It's quickly 0-2, and Claudio Custodio, who is no stranger to strong lineups, will be looking to really impress, I guess, especially against Jose Arias tonight, where it is really a kind of a game within the game for both these starters tonight to prove who is the ace of the league between both Custodio and Arias. Custodio for the Royals, Arias for the Majors. We'll see him in the bottom half of this inning. Claudio, of course, played left field for the Royals as he gets a strikeout to start this ball game, and the Royals go around the horn with one down. Newton down on strikes. But Claudio has really been that Swiss Army knife. He's put in the lineup as a designated hitter, or he can hit in the 7 or 6 hole and also play in the outfield. And as Neil's brought up many times this season, was a shortstop to start his career and got drafted into the MLB as that and then switched over to become the Intercounty League's most feared pitcher in terms of one-on-one duels with batters, and that is exactly why Taylor Wright looks at strike number 1.
Custodio's not afraid to attack the strike zone from pitch number 1, and pretty sure the book on the Majors know that too, but so that one's going to be called a strike as well. It's inside, and it's
and that speaks to the just perfection of Claudio's delivery and consistency. Every opposing batter knows he's going to attack the strike zone, yet they look at things and wave at things like Taylor Wright just did. That's 2 down, 2 straight strikeouts for Claudio to start this ball game. And Custodio is now at 159 Ks on the season after breaking that record last Saturday evening, and doesn't look like he's at all thinking about slowing down on his way to that 200 mark, but Cleveland Brownlee hitting third might have something to say about that. And I've said it time and time again this season, Neil, the no batting glove look is just a statement when you walk into the box. As he swings at the first one he sees and pops it up. Keys, who's playing catcher tonight, on it. Keys against the fence, can't make the catch, but that will be out of play for strike number one as our resident photographer Gar Fitzgerald comes up with it after a one-hopper and turns it in for a free freezy here at Hastings Stadium in front of all 2,900 fans in attendance on another gorgeous night for baseball in the heart of downtown Guelph. Brownlee behind 0-1 here with 2 down quickly, and Claudio efficient as ever so far to start this ball game.
Well, Brownlee, 1 home run away from career home run number 125, 2 RBIs away from career RBI 475. So, no offense, Cleveland, I love you. I don't want you doing it here tonight.
Save it for tomorrow against Welland if you are. But Claudio also 2 strikes away from hitting 160 total for strikeouts on the season. The 1-1 misses on the inside part of the plate to make it 2-1.
And that's just the discipline that Roop was mentioning in the pregame as far as that stuff. And on any other year, when he first broke into the league, he probably would have swung at that pitch and would have found himself behind the count at 1-2 here.
Patience is a virtue, and that one well inside, and now Cleveland Brownlee with a hitter's count, and the wrong guy you want to give it to, especially with Robert Mullen, the catcher, on deck, and Mullen just a shade behind Brownlee in all of those power hitting categories this season. Hits, RBIs, and home runs. It's Mullen and or Brownlee who squibs one underneath the glove of Collymore. LaRue had his back but could not get the throw on target. Terrasano jumped and came off the bag. Brownlee is safe at first with a 2-out single. And Robert Mullen to the plate, and it doesn't get any easier. We have praised this Royals lineup time and time again this season with how much power and depth they have. This Majors lineup, very similar.
Yeah, they're none too shabby, and it's a very, very good mirror matchup as far as this evening goes. Both teams and everything else. Very strong.
And as mentioned, no Sean Riley tonight for the Royals and no Connor Morrow in the starting lineup. So that one fouled off by Mullen and hit straight back and kind of gave everyone, including myself, a jolt. Might have to change my shorts after that one, but we will move on. It's 0-1. So no Morrow, no Riley really does kind of change the complexion of this Royals lineup, and Claudio Custodio on the mound will obviously not be hitting for the time being. He misses on that one and evens the count with Mullen at 1-1. Brownlee not a threat to steal at first, but sometimes surprises are exactly that. So we'll see what Brownlee does with 2 outs. Unlikely to take off, but no one covering second.
He does have 63 career stolen bases, but none this year.
That just means he's due.
Yeah.
And that is no
Again, Cleveland, tomorrow's fine.
And that with the Royals 2 games behind both the Majors and the Jackfish for first in the IBL, a win tonight cuts that deficit in half behind London. And with London going to Welland tomorrow, imagine what could happen with that standing picture as that one's chopped foul. Imagine what the standings could look like after the conclusion of tomorrow's games. It could look very, very different.
It could be a shoehorn at first place anyways, as far as that stuff goes. So, yeah, you never know.
And, again, the playoff format has changed this season compared to the last season, and it will be all 8 teams that make it in, and 1 will play 8, and 2 will play 7, and so on and so forth. As Mullen swings and misses, Claudio Custodio with 3 strikeouts. 1 hit allowed, but no earned runs, and the Royals are off to the home half of the first with a tie ball game here from Hastings Stadium. Back to Hastings. Either to ask what they said. 1-1, 2 gone here, bottom of 1. Garton swings and misses and was looking to punch his ticket all the way home with that swing, but couldn't come up with it. It's now 1-2, and Arias is a strike away from perhaps the quickest 1-2-3 inning of the season.
Well, runs will be at a premium tonight, that's for sure. Maybe even base hits.
Garton opposite field to left, high but not deep enough. And that is caught as that is out number 3. That ball looked like it might have a chance, but all of a sudden the bottom fell out of it and the Royals go 1-2-3. We are scoreless through 1 inning from Hastings Stadium. Sterling Joseph to lead it off here in the top of the second. No score between the Majors and the Royals from Hastings Stadium on a Saturday night, and we might be eclipsing that 3,000 mark in terms of butts in seats here at Hastings. Perhaps the largest crowd we've had all season long, and why not? The dog days of summer have come and gone. We are into August, and Claudio Custodio has 160 strikeouts under his belt, looking to make it 161 now. After 3 Ks in the first inning, Sterling Joseph chops one over the head of Malik Collymore, and Joseph is aboard with a leadoff single, and that one looked like it took a nice little hop off the infield grass right before the dirt, Neil.
It did. It just took a little weird bounce after it hit the edge of the lip of the grass there and just rolled and then died. So if Joseph was paying a little more attention, he probably could have wound up at second base there.
He did turn the corner and kind of took a peek, and by the time he was there, Ethan Hammond was all over the ball and decided with the leadoff single just stand pat. And Byron Reichstein is now at the plate. Lefty on righty matchup here for the Majors. Batter in favor, and Claudio, I believe that is the first time he's missed with a pitch to open up in at bat, so it's 1-0. Reichstein sets, as does Claudio. He checks Joseph at first, peeks back. Joseph takes off. That one's low. Keys, a great job to get the ball to LaRue. LaRue over to Terracino, and he's called safe as Joseph at first. And Juicy doesn't like it.
Played on the base umpire doing the double take down there, making sure he got the call right before he passed judgment on it.
He did take a long look at it, and I was wondering if maybe now if he was making sure Joseph's fingertips were on the bag, and perhaps that was what was delegated about, or thought about, rather. That one pulled to right. Williams can't make a play on it. That's going to be over his head and off the wall. Joseph rounding third. Reichstein all the way to third. Joseph at home. That is a triple for Reichstein and an RBI as Sterling Joseph slides in uncontested to open the scoring. Dan Perrier now, the first baseman for the Majors, will look to bring Reichstein home, who is 90 feet away from doing so with no one gone here. And after the Royals had so many issues with Arias in the bottom of the first, Claudio Custodio showing a bit of perhaps wear and tear and maybe tipping his cap to the Majors hitters so far. And on cue, Perrier waves goodbye to strike number 2. And with a runner 90 feet away, it would be only human nature to try to swing at one and make anything go into the outfield to drive him in, and that is a 3-pitch strikeout from Claudio Custodio. Custodio sits down Perrier. Andrew Lawrence to the plate now with one gone, but still anything deep would double the Majors' lead here. All 7 of the outfielders and infielders of the Royals playing pretty straight up here, and that one, why not? Lawrence chases one that was well low and well out of the strike zone, and Claudio with a grin. 0-1 yet again for the league's leading strikeout man, Custodio. That one chopped foul, and now it's quickly 0-2. Keith Kandel, as we mentioned, the former Royal, batting ninth, is due up next. And he has had some decent ABs here at Hastings so far this season for the Majors. Custodio
pitched in last night with 3 hits last night against the Maple Leafs as the Majors defeated the Maple Leafs 7-2.
That one misses, makes it 1-2. And what a schedule. And almost like proving what's in the pudding, if you will, for the Majors. You have the Maple Leafs on Friday night. You have the Royals on Saturday. And you go back home and host the Welland Jackfish, the league's top team. That one is not a favorable schedule, and LaRue can't get his feet underneath that one. That is a flare RBI single for Lawrence, then brings home Reichstein, and it is 2-0 Majors here in the top of the second. Keith Kandel now to the plate with Lawrence at first and one gone. Both Lawrence and Kandel can really move, so a double play ball would have to be almost perfectly executed by likely Garton, LaRue, and Interessano in a best case scenario. Lawrence with a huge lead out at first. That one, a first pitch strike from Claudio Custodio. Lawrence again taking his generous lead and looks like he's ready to take off here. And Claudio and Keys both had that on their mind, one a little high to see if Lawrence would jump. He did not. That makes it 1-1. Claudio peeks over his left shoulder twice and maybe 3 times now, and there goes Lawrence. A bunt that is into no man's land. That will leave everyone safe and aboard, and what a piece of hitting from Keith Kandel.
That was just a heads-up play by Kandel there on the hit and run, and caught the defense moving.
They were going westbound, and Kandel said, "I'll go east," and kind of poked one into the middle of no man's land, as I mentioned, in the infield, and there was no play to be made there if you're the Royals infield, and both Kandel and Lawrence are safe at first and second. One gone. 2 runs already have crossed home plate for London so far here in the top of the second. And a rare early mound visit from pretty much all of the Royals infield and Dino Ramel. Not common to see with their ace on the mound. And Claudio is that kind of guy who seems to be kind of unfazed by just about anything.
Yeah, and I think it more was just to remind the defense what they want to do on this play now. They got the 2 speedsters on. You're going to watch for the double steal and watch far, make sure who's covering where.
And Jacob Newton, the leadoff hitter, back to the plate. So 2 real good base runners aboard and 1 in scoring position. And Newton, the
second guy in the batting order now, as far as second in the league in batting average now. Came into the game batting .393. Of course, he struck out swinging in the first inning.
That one finds the outside high part of the zone, and Claudio likes it, as does everyone in Hastings Stadium. It's another first pitch strike from the Royals ace, and it's 0-1.
And if you're Custodio, you just got to keep pounding the strike zone here and hope the defense gets the outs here. That one's going to go off Newton, and that's going to be...
Claudio makes the catch and
gets the force out at third anyways.
That's the closest runner to home after that one hopper, and what a heads-up play from Custodio, and that speaks exactly to his composure, Neil. After kind of a tough start to this top of the second, that was a fantastic athletic play that showed absolutely no signs of shake or any sort of fear. Custodio makes the out and chucks it on over to Collymore to finish it off. And now Taylor Wright's back to the plate. Wright went down on strikes, as did many of his teammates so far this evening. And Custodio inside and low. That's ball 1. Brownlee in the on-deck circle would be chomping at the bit here if Taylor Wright can find a way aboard. You know what Cleveland Brownlee would be thinking about with bases loaded and 2 gone.
Yep.
That one chopped to Interessano at first. Going to be in a foot race. In time! A 3 unassisted putout from Justin Interessano to bring the top of the second to a close, but not before the London Majors bring 2 home. It's 2-0 Majors. We're off to the bottom of the second.
This inning is brought to you by Secure Water Systems. Has your business been contacted by the city to have its backwater preventer tested? Secure Water Systems is local and specializes in backflow prevention. Check out our 5-star Google reviews and call us at 519-827-9622 to receive 10% off your first test. Secure Water Systems, keeping our water safe. This inning is brought to you by Secure Water Systems. Has your business been contacted by the city to have its backwater preventer tested? Secure Water Systems is local and specializes in backflow prevention. Check out our 5-star Google reviews and call.
Back to Hastings Stadium. It's 2-0 Majors over the Royals, and Malik Collymore, who has found himself in what would be called maybe a mini slump after that 12-game hitting streak, will lead it off as the number 4 hitter yet again. He has not moved from that cleanup spot in this lineup for Dino Romel, Neil.
Since he got stuck in it, he's definitely called it his own, that's for sure.
Or if you will, Collymore his own. Arias misses low and outside and in the dirt. It's 1-0. Collymore will be followed by Interessano and J.D. Williams, who are all due up here in the bottom of the second after the Royals went down 1-2-3 against Arias in the bottom of the first. That is a strike all day long from Jose Arias, who may not have the K count of Claudio Custodio, but man, oh man, is he showing his efficiency so far in this ball game. Collymore laces one through the middle of the infield, and that will be the first base runner Guelph has put aboard so far this evening, and a real good sign.
Justin Interessano!
And Guelph's favorite son welcomes himself to this ball game, at least offensively, saying hello to the home plate umpire and the opposing catcher, Robert Mullen, as always, and will take his time and step out and make sure everyone knows that he's the one at bat, with Collymore at first, and with the legs of Guelph's cleanup hitter, always the threat to take off. Arias misses there, and Interessano a good eye to lay off. That's 1-0. That was a very hard pitch for Interessano to hold back on, and did just that and was rewarded. Head in the count, 1-0. Mullen sets up outside. Collymore takes off. A play at second. The ball gets over everybody, and Collymore's on his way to third. The throw in, Collymore is safe well in time. And now the Guelph Royals have a real chance to cut this deficit in half.
So give Collymore the stolen base, and then an E2 on the throw on Mullen as the ball went sailing into center field. Kandel couldn't corral it at shortstop.
And it's a 2-0 count for Justin Interessano on top of all of that. Two 2-0. Collymore at third. No one gone. And Interessano licking his chops. Takes ball 3 high.
Now you're in Interessano here. If you get a pitch in the strike zone, you still got to do a job with it. You got to get it through the right side to give Collymore a chance here, or you got to put it in the air on the right side. Give Collymore a chance to tag up and score here.
You cannot leave him stranded at third in this inning right now. Interessano fouls one back. It's 3-1. And to steal your verbiage, Neil, the small village that has become a township that has been left aboard for the Royals this season, it's one of those things that will kill you in the end. But right now, with no one gone, and the 3-1 count, and Malik Collymore 90 feet from scoring, it would be nightmare fuel if he doesn't end up finding his way home. The 3-1 from Arias and Terrasano up the middle. Collymore tagging, takes off for home, no throw. Collymore will be in there, uncontested. It's 2-1. Justin and Terrasano with a sac fly to center. Malik Collymore scoring the run. And J.D. Williams, who, like so many other Royals hitters, up and down and in and out of the everyday lineup, has really settled in that 6-hole and has been just fantastic here to follow in Terrasano or whoever hits 5th on any given evening. Williams, a guy who can hit the ball high, long, and far and really move his feet. Also with patience, Exhibit A there as he lays off ball number 1.
Well, they want Williams here to set the table once again for the bottom of the order, especially with Hammond, who's been knocking the holy heck out of the ball lately.
The holy Hammond. That pitch found the zone. It evens the count at 1-1. And again, without Connor Morrow in the lineup tonight batting 9th, it's a bit of a different looking lineup with Brando LaRue there. But Brando, who is a guy who crowds the plate and does a good job of making pitchers really work for that inside or outside part of the plate. Just another look for Jose Arias to kind of get comfortable with once he will make his first appearance at the dish. He's in the hole and Keys is on deck. The 1-2 coming, 1 gone here. It's 2-1 majors. Williams fouls one off and stays alive. Count remains the same. One, 2 coming. Williams, an excuse me swing, but might have the feet to get there. Not in time, just throwing out at first. A great play by the major shortstop, Keith Kandel, and threw it on over to Dan Perrier for the 6-3 putout. Ethan Hammond due up next. Keys, is now on deck. LaRue in the hole. And Hammond, who has been, again, one of the most pleasant of all surprises in this lineup in terms of his power, pop, and contact and consistency. Not a bad guy to work into your lineup in the 7 spot. Arias deals. Hammond looks at one outside and off the plate for ball 1. Hammond, of course, did not start in that game back on Tuesday night, but back into the lineup here and doing a good job of waiting on his pitch. It's 2-0. Arias, perhaps a bead of sweat or two now with that lead cut in half and falling behind. Hammond quickly shakes it off, resets, and delivers again. Hammond fouls one straight back.
Of course, when Frank Garces was on the mound for the Berry Baycats on Tuesday night, it was a lefty on the hill and everything else. So all the lefties except for Josh Garton got the night to start on the Pines anyways, and it just was such a tight ball game. Didn't get a chance. Garces worked into the 8th inning, so didn't get a chance to change the lineup too much.
Exactly. Garces, we looked at his numbers, I think, through the 6 innings, and he was only at 65 or 67 pitches at that point. But the Royals really making hay while the sun shined and cashed in their runs when guys were aboard. It's 3-1 now against Hammond, and it saws him off. And Neil, I'll let you hit the button on that one. That bat did not die a hero.
No, it did not. Hammond, just hurting the wallet.
Ethan Hammond thrown out at first. Royals go down, but not before cutting the lead in half. It's 2-1 through 2 innings here at Hastings Stadium. Cleveland Brownlee leading it off for the Majors, who have that 2-1 lead through 2 innings here. Brownlee, the designated hitter, third in the lineup, followed by Robert Mullen, and a leadoff bomb over the wall, and Cleveland Brownlee add one more to the pile, my friend.
Congratulations, Cleveland Brownlee. Home run number 125 on the career. And now 1 RBI away from 475 as well, as he's got 474 RBIs on the career now.
Officially 474 as he crosses home plate, and 14 home runs on the season. And I think Robert Mullen likes what he saw, because he just took something from Cleveland Brownlee and put it down his jersey. Not quite sure what that was about, but perhaps just a good luck charm.
Maybe, who knows?
And that, I believe here, Neil, is the first.
Second home run, actually. Second home run Custodio's given up this season here at this ballpark, actually.
I was actually going to say the first leadoff swing home run.
Yeah.
A rare one all season long. And, yeah, the second one that Custodio's given up. But the thing that we've learned from Claudio is a short memory from the guy on the bump for the Royals. So don't think that that's going to change his mindset whatsoever, as that's a first pitch strike on Robert Mullen. It's 0-1, and now it's 0-2.
Brownlee got one up that he was able to get the hands on and through the batter's box there and barreled up through it. Pretty much where the man in the yellow with the yellow shirt is staying in left center field there. So the ball goes in the dirt's count. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes here.
And as you've brought up so many times this season, when you find a hitter like Cleveland Brownlee who knows Claudio is going to be looking at the strike zone to open up an at-bat, why not swing if you have that power of Brownlee? And exactly what he hoped to happen was just put on display to double the Majors' lead, make it 3-1. It's 2-2 the count here with Mullen and Custodio going head-to-head. Starling Joseph on deck. He reached base last time, and Mullen is down swinging. So Claudio Custodio adds to that strikeout total yet again. Unfortunately, the previous batter went deep on him, so Starling Joseph to the plate, and a guy who will get on a ball quickly and doesn't need to be hit that high, deep, or long for him to find his way aboard safely, with the left pant leg ripped already after that slide into home plate to open the scoring for the Majors. Joseph again jumps on the first pitch he sees and fouls it off. So the book on Claudio for this Majors lineup that is ever so dangerous is swing early and swing often. It's now 0-2 as Joseph looks at one that he thought was off the plate or low. However, it is a called strike number 2. Claudio sets, delivers that one off the dirt and perhaps the knee pad of Brendan Keys. Makes it 1-2. Byron Reichstein on deck. Joseph swings and misses and just chalk another K up for Claudio. 2 gone here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Reichstein, who tripled and scored a run last inning, got the RBI. He drove home Starling Joseph. Nice to see Ramble back in the lineup.
And after that leadoff home run from Brownlee, back-to-back strikeouts from Custodio, just to show exactly what that mentality is made of. And a first pitch swung on and missed for strike number 1 from Reichstein. Oh, 1 coming, low, evens the count at 1-1.
And thanks Dylan Baker for passing on the note as well, as I forgot to mention. Cleveland Brownlee's 14th homer of the season is also his career high as well in the league.
Brownlee leading the league in dingers.
With 14 now.
14, and Reichstein swings and misses.
Come on, Royals fans, let's hear it. Get on your feet.
As the Hastings crowd comes together, Claudio with a 2-2 count. That one off the heel of the glove of Keys for ball 3, and here comes the payoff. And this crowd comes alive. Full count. Claudio likes to dictate the pace of every single at-bat.
Reichstein's probably one of the first batters this year that actually stepped out and went at their own pace here.
And how'd that end up? Another strikeout for Claudio Custodio. Cleveland Brownlee, the only runner to score with a leadoff home run. It's 3-1 Majors halfway through 3. Brendan Keys will lead it off for the Royals, who I think, Neil, this might be the toughest test they've faced on home field so far this season. Behind, 3-1 halfway through 3 innings. Keys, LaRue, and Pompey will all bat this inning here. Keys a leadoff bunt, and that might be a good one. That is a fantastic one. A bare hand grab, and Chuck Keys
Infield
gets
single.
there in time for a leadoff single. And man, oh man, catching the Majors on their heels, right?
Third baseman wasn't paying attention where it was. Figured the catcher was up, so he's going to stand back there. And, well, Keys took full advantage of that and found his way to first.
And Brando LaRue is the kind of guy that you might expect that from. But a young catcher like Brendan Keys, absolutely not. So, again, the old rope-a-dope pays off for the Royals. And manufacturing base runners is exactly what they need to do here in this ball game against Arias, who won't allow many. That one doesn't get the call. It's 1-0. LaRue laid off a good-looking pitch.
Jose is going to have to deal with the fact he can't throw it inside here.
Yeah, again, LaRue very, very comfortable standing right over top of that plate. And it might be throwing Aries off because that one misses too, and it's 2-0.
Well, you've taken away half his favorite spots to go in here, so it's like, okay, if I could bring it inside, LaRue's either going to wear it and wind up second base with 2 on here and nobody away, or
And the leadoff hitter due up next. LaRue fouls that one just straight back and just perhaps a little underneath it, but a good swing on a good pitch makes it 2-1. And perhaps, Neil, that is the kind of the method behind this lineup and Brandel LaRue being in over Connor Morrow to bat ninth is the fact that Aries likes that inside part of the plate and LaRue doesn't give it to you. It's 2-1 coming. That one definitely catches a part of the plate to even the count at 2-2. Some Royals faithful not in agreement, but volunteer umpires are just that, here for free. The 2-2 coming, Keys at first, no one gone. The Royals down by a pair. LaRue fouls one straight back yet again.
And that's what you got to do with Arias here. You just got to make him throw more pitches, get him further into the counts here, and hope he makes a mistake.
And not for nothing, the young shortstop Brandel LaRue making Arias work for it here. And it'd be a tough sell for me to buy to think that a double play ball would be on here with LaRue's foot speed. That one high and misses to run the count full. LaRue steps out and resets, and Brendan Keys with a very moderate lead from first there. Not really thinking about taking a bag, but with the count full, pitch comes. LaRue fouls it off, fights it off, and stays alive. So we'll do it all over again with the count full. No one gone here, bottom of the third. Arias delivers, LaRue swings and misses. So one down and back to the top of the order.
Dalton Pompey.
And Dalton Pompey will make his second appearance to the plate. He grounded out to first base in his first at-bat. Will likely be a little more patient here his second go around, as he's put on display so many times so far this season in all of his plate appearances. A very, very smart and calculated hitter is Pompey. Checks his swing, doesn't matter. That one paints the outside corner for an 0-1 count.
Pompey fourth in the league in walks. Jordan Castaldo, of course, with 38 walks so far this season. The Maple Leafs first baseman, DH, third baseman sometimes as well.
Pompey, opposite field, flares one over the head of the third baseman. That will put Keys to second. Pompey on to first with one gone. And the Royals threatening with Kyle DeGrace.
Hitter, Kyle DeGrace.
DeGrace 0 for 1 in this ball game. But now with two men on and a guy who's just kind of settling back in and finding his groove at the plate, a real opportunity to really get his feet wet, so to speak, here, and perhaps tie this ball game. Arias checks second with Keys and now delivers to home. That one danced all over and found its way into the strike zone to make it 0-1. What a good pitch from Arias. The 0-1. A little low. Mullen tried to frame it to no effect, and that makes the count 1-1. One gone, two men on here. DeGrace pulls one, and it is foul. And Arias does a good job to battle with each and every Royals batter so far this evening, and that makes it 1-2. Josh Garton loosening up on deck. Hoping to get his chance here with some men aboard. Arias delivers. DeGrace looks at a pitch that is well high to even the count at 2-2. Two on and a 2-2 count here. One gone. DeGrace at the plate looking to drive at least Keys in. Fouls and fights it off down the first base line, and we'll do it again. And Josh Garton, that has punished some baseballs here at Hastings Stadium so far this season, even after missing a ton of games, is just eagerly awaiting his chance at Arias yet again. Keys 180 feet away from home. DeGrace fouls yet another one off. And funny enough, we noticed between innings as a big catch is made by one of our young fans out of play, and that brings the hands together of Hastings Stadium. But Arias, who I believe has thrown many more pitches than Custodio so far in this game, I would guess.
It definitely does feel like he has. Definitely the Royals are doing a better job of making him work for these outs.
And that would be a big, big positive for this team going through this ball game. And that is a cold strike number 3. And Kyle DeGrace can't do anything but wind his watch.
Now batting the second baseman, Josh Garton.
Garton with 2 men on and 2 gone here and 2 runs to try to make up for. This is a thing that Guelph's Hulk Hogan lives for. Garton has, as mentioned, knocked the laces off some baseballs here at Hastings to deep center where that Canadian flag resides ever so limp this evening, Neil.
Never going to live that one down, are we?
Not ever, no.
No.
Garton looks at ball number 1. The 1-0. Garton takes, and that's a called strike. And again, Joshua wipes his mustache and disagrees silently. Resets. Arias delivers. The double steal is on. Keys into third. That ball is high. That throw is well off the mark from Mullen. Keys will score easily. Dalton Pompey to third, and it's 3-2.
Double steal and an E2 again. As Mullen's ball is just sailing in the outfield once again here.
And put that down in your diary if you're Dino Ramel. That's 2 bad throws from Robert Mullen, who is one of this league's elite catchers in terms of offense and defensively, as well as gunning men down. So a rare miscue and then a pair of them from Mullen behind home plate from the majors. 2-1 count coming. Pompey 90 feet from tying it. Garton swings in, misses to even the count. Pompey, a pest in the minds of opposing pitchers when he is on the base path. And yet again, look at that lead. Garton pops one opposite field, and it is foul. It didn't sound like it had the legs, and it went just foul and about 40 feet shy of that left field wall. And now that we have that wide shot, take a peek at what Dalton Pompey is doing to Jose Arias. Pompey well off third base and about now 78 feet away from home as Arias resets. But again, the third baseman playing well into the middle of the infield. And
Pompey has already stolen home once this season, actually earlier this week, last Sunday against the Cardinals.
Garten looks at one and runs the count full. And if you're Arias now with first and second both open, what's your game plan here with Josh Garten, perhaps the Royals' most dangerous and powerful hitter in tonight's lineup, looking to tie this game? Garten pops one and doesn't get enough of it. He didn't like it. That one will be a lazy fly ball to left field. Royals leave Pompey aboard, but not before cutting the deficit in half. It's 3-2 through 3 innings from Hastings Stadium. Top of the 4th inning from Hastings Stadium. It's 3-2 Majors as Perrier leads it off. First pitch swinging, and Terracino over to Claudio. Out number 1, recorded as a 3-1 put out for Custodio. And the Royals, quick work of Perrier and the Majors for the first out here of the top of the 4th. Andrew Lawrence back to the plate. He reached with a single and then was left stranded at second base his last time out in the top of the 2nd inning. And Perrier will be followed by Lawrence will be followed by Kandel. As Custodio dances one in there. And Claudio, again, a first pitch kind of strike pitcher. But it's usually with that old number 1, the fastball. That one found its way by way of break into the zone and fooled Lawrence, who chops one straight down and foul and make it 0-2. And Custodio, 1 strike away from being 2 outs through this top of the 4th.
Out-of-town scoreboard, the Welland Jackfish up on top of the Barrie Baycats in the top of the 5th inning, a 6-0 here.
And Claudio Custodio just, at this point, it's almost like he's collecting and hoarding strikeouts. That's another one for the league's leader and the record holder. Not sure what the total count is so far this evening for the Royals ace, but more than I can count to with 1 or 2 hands, I believe. And
8 strikeouts so far on the night.
I'm missing a few fingers then, as Keith Kandel is back to the plate.
Kandel singled in the 2nd inning, got left on base.
And a favorable first pitch strike called. Everyone but Keith Kandel liked it, and Claudio again ahead in the count. Now it's 0-2. and I'm going to run out of fingers if he throws another strike, Neil.
Yep. Kandel wisely stepped out of the box to throw Claudio off his rhythm here anyways once he likes to get going, and he wheels and deals at his pace. Surprised more guys in the league don't take their time, step out of the box, and readjust themselves facing the Custodio here, but if they're just willing to stand on the box, he's just going to throw you strikes.
I think that Claudio's persona and charisma kind of, and that's another one for Claudio Custodio.
Keith Kandel just kind of throws his arms up there.
What the heck am I supposed to do with that one? Claudio's composure and charisma kind of throws opposing players, batters, and pitchers off when he is at the dish. Exemplified right there. We are halfway through 4 innings. It's 3-2 majors from Hastings Stadium.
This inning is brought to you by Secure Water Systems. Malik Cullymore will lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. London Majors leading your Guelph Royals 3-2. I'm Neil Sriwastava. Being joined by Scotty Frazier as always. Scotty will be back with a call momentarily. He was just taking a sip of a beverage here.
Arias deals and finds the outside part of somewhere and is ahead quickly 0-1. Cullymore looked at that one, and I'm not sure where it came back into the plate, but it definitely must have. Another first pitch strike from the Majors ace, and Cullymore fouls that one straight back and just missed both the catcher and the home plate umpire by a hair, and it's 0-2.
Cullymore led off the 2nd inning with a single. He got all the way around the bases. He stole 2nd, reached 3rd on error, and came home on the sacrifice fly by Santos to put the Royals on the board.
That one misses to make it 1-2. Just inside and off the plate.
I think it broke a little too late there, and the plate umpire had already made up his mind on that pitch.
1-2 coming now. That one definitely off and low and evens the count at deuces. Two now from Arias. Cullymore settling in and looks at one. Mullen tried to frame it, but
a little too far out.
Count is now full at 3-2. Payoff coming from Arias. Cullymore takes and walks his way to first. A leadoff walk for Cullymore. And the Royals now have a man aboard with a 1-run deficit to erase with juicy Justin Terrasano, who already has 1 RBI in this ball game, making his way back to the plate. It was a sac fly to center field that did end up scoring the runner in his first AB. So Terrasano with Collymore at first. A very similar scenario to his last at bat here. And Collymore takes off yet again. Terrasano shows bunt. That throw from Mullen just high. And Collymore in there with his second free bag of the evening. But comes up with a bit of a, I'm not sure if his fingers were stepped on after I think Kandel came down with the ball. Time is called as Collymore will regroup. And if that is indeed the case, Neil, imagine how that feels.
That's not fun.
Spikes coming down on your trailing hand as you slide into second. And I'm not sure if Dino has any sort of viable option to replace Collymore at third. And when you think about it, and obviously there is no replacing Malik Collymore player for player, but looking at the bench roster, it would definitely, and it will have to be a hard decision now, as Collymore's night is over. And Malik definitely no softy when it comes to that kind of stuff. And Jose Arias, his night just got a little bit less hectic after Collymore has stolen 2 bags.
Might just be getting a tape job on his hand here.
Stay with this, Royals fans. We're just taking a break for a little bit of an injury timeout.
Collymore will get tended to here. And we will take a quick break and come back. So Malik Collymore stays in the game, makes his way back to second base, and Justin Terrasano back to the batter's box. He is ahead 1-0 in the count. Collymore with a bit of tape on that left hand that I would assume had to have been stepped on that Kandel catch, but more to come later on that, as Terrasano swings and might have foul tipped it off. Nonetheless, it is strike 1. And what a huge sign of positivity for the Royals that Collymore stays in this game. Now, that hand that's taped is his catching hand. And playing the hot bag, I'm not quite sure if he's going to remain in this game for the top of the 5th. But that shall be seen after we get through here. It's 2-1, no one gone. Collymore represents the tying run at second. Terrasano pokes one up the middle. Kandel gets it, throws it on to first. That is a putout. However, Malik Collymore finds his way 90 feet closer to home and is now at third with 1 gone.
Now batting, right fielder, J.D. Williams.
And J.D. Williams, no stranger to RBIs, returns to the plate after grounding out in his first appearance of the evening.
Corners are definitely in a little more than they usually are with Williams batting.
That first one is low and might have caught some dirt for ball number 1. So it's 1-0 from Arias. That one is a called strike to even the count at 1-1. Some tense moments here with Malik Collymore, 90 feet from home. Williams back up the gut. The majors make the easy out, but not before Collymore ties the game at 3. J.D. Williams put out on the 4-3 and
Left fielder.
picks up an RBI and ties the game.
Hammond.
Ethan Hammond back to the plate. Hammond 0 for 1 as well, and as advertised and expected, Neil, hits and runs have kind of pretty much a premium so far for both sides.
Both teams having to grind out the 3 they got so far here, so yes.
Aside from that Cleveland Brownlee long shot, there has really been no really power on display, and that one can't get through, and that is out number 3, but not before the Guelph Royals tied this ball game. We are through 4 innings. It's 3-3 between the Majors and the Royals. Jacob Newton to lead it off here for the Majors. Back to the top of the order. Newton 0 for 2. Did reach by way of fielder's choice his second time out, but Claudio Custodio, I believe he's wearing some glasses that are void of tint here in this inning. I'm not quite sure if that was my imagination or if that is factual, but we will get more on that in a moment. Definitely wearing some glasses now. And perhaps that's a Ricky Wild thing, Vaughn.
No, actually, it's because the lights here, when they turn on, he has difficulty seeing the catcher's signs, actually.
Is that the first time we've seen that this season, though?
No, he actually did it last Saturday, and I had to go jack and check. I was like, I thought it was something new, too, but then I was looking through his baseball cards this week, and lo and behold, when he was with the Staten Island Yankees, he had the glasses on the mound.
I don't know what's more interesting, that you knew that or that you have a Staten Island Yankees Claudio Custodio baseball card.
And, the worst thing is I'm afraid to go ask him to sign it.
I was just going to ask if it's been signed, but asked and answered. Claudio Custodio 2-2 now with Newton at the plate, and that count runs full. I need a minute.
I think we just stumped Scotty here. I think he's awestruck.
What's it go for on eBay?
I have no idea what it goes for. It was just more of a less. Oh, okay.
So 1 of 1 is Claudio Custodio with a payoff pitch. Sits another one down, and if my 8 digits on my hand are right, I believe we're up to 10 strikeouts.
I think you are correct.
A full 2 hands of Ks for Claudio Custodio, so make that 167 on the season, and we are only 1/3 of the way through the top of the 5th, and 200 is approaching ever so quickly.
You got to figure he's probably going to get at least 2 more starts. He might come in, but I'd rather just see him healthy and ready to go in the playoffs rather than going for a number that nobody else in this league is probably going to come close to.
It really is a meaningless at this point. He's already eclipsed the record by now a clean 10 and on his way to 11 as he's ahead 0-2. No, I do agree with just the summer kind of slipping away in the regular season doing exactly the same. Why run him through when he's 33 strikeouts away, and Garton can't, after the effort and the dive, cannot come up with that baseball. And Taylor Wright is aboard with a 1-out single after being behind 0-2. Cleveland Brownlee, who solved Claudio Custodio pretty quickly his last time out, comes back to the plate and, as always, drops that bat and takes those bare hands to pick up some dirt and get some grip on his weapon of choice here with Wright at first and a tie ball game. Custodio, oh, what a good pitch. Cleveland disagrees, but man, oh man, that is not the prototypical Claudio Custodio first pitch of an at-bat, but it worked out in spades. Wright with a healthy lead at first. Brownlee off balance, and you think that Claudio Custodio forgets what Brownlee did to him in the last at-bat?
Oh, see, last time up he hit the first pitch swinging up and over in the left field here. But so, yeah, it's just hard to say as he tries to go back outside and hope Brownlee was going to chase that one there, and it's now a 1-2 here.
And Cleveland Brownlee, perhaps the most wise of all hitters in this league and seasoned, knew that Claudio was probably going to look to make him chase and was taking all the way there as Wright takes off for second, but it doesn't matter. Claudio Custodio with his 11th strikeout of the evening. Wright does get second base, but there's 2 gone now. And Robert Mullen, who has been, to say quiet so far at the plate this evening would be an understatement. 0-for-2 with 2 strikeouts swinging, and Cleveland Brownlee was really the only one to really affect Claudio Custodio from that top of the order. Custodio has now struck out at least once. The top of the order, the second hitter, the third hitter, and the fourth hitter, the fifth hitter, and the sixth hitter. He's struck out just about everyone in the majors lineup, aside from, I don't know. That one chopped to LaRue. I thought Perrier was avoiding that stat, but it doesn't matter. That is a ground out. 6-3 for out number 3. We're tied halfway through 5.
This inning is brought to you by Secure Water Systems. Has your business been contacted by the city to have its backwater preventer tested? Secure Water Systems is local and specializes in backflow prevention. Check out our 5-star Google reviews and call us at 519-827-9622 to receive 10% off your first test. Secure Water Systems, keeping our water safe. This inning is brought to you by Secure Water Systems. Has your business been contacted by the city to have its backwater preventer tested? Secure Water Systems is local and specializes in backflow prevention. Check out our 5-star Google reviews and call us at 519-827-9622 to receive 10% off your first test. Secure Water Systems, keeping our water safe. This inning is brought to you by Secure Water Systems. Has your business been contacted by the city to have its backwater preventer tested? Secure Water Systems is local and specializes in backflow prevention. Check out our bottom of the fifth inning here at Hastings Stadium. Thank you so much for joining this evening. I'm Neil Sriwasto as the Guelph Royals and London Majors are deadlock at 3 apiece. And what do you expect when you got the two best pitchers in the IBL going face-to-face tonight? Jose Arias, and Claudio Custodio as Scotty Frazier's enjoying his hot dog for a couple minutes here. As Keys fouls the first offering from Arias down the line for a foul ball, and the count is 0-1. There's a strike call. The count is now 0-2. Not quite, Lyndon. Just was this inning. Scotty's having some food here, though. He was looking kind of malnourished here. We'll definitely be doing the game tomorrow in Kitchener as well. We got the Barry Baycats and the Kitchener Panthers. Mark Perry not available again on the Sunday, so I know what I'm doing tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be through, and it's going to be a base hit, as Kandel couldn't get to that one in time. And Keys is 2 for 2 with another leadoff single.
Now batting the shortstop, Brendan LaRue.
And Brendan LaRue, the shortstop, will be the batter. He struck out swinging his last at bat. Took Arias to 9 pitches, though. And thanks to all the London Major fans tuning in on YouTube as well. Wherever you guys may be, I know some of you are watching from Texas, some of you are watching from Georgia, so welcome on in. Hope the weather is a little cooler there down south than it is up here right now. It's been another hot, muggy day up here in the Royal City. LaRue takes strike one there. I think it's 1-1. Umpire not helping us with the count back here, so we're all kind of dumbfounded with it. I think it's 1-1. Two balls and a strike here. LaRue swings and misses that pitch. And the count is now 2-2. Only the play they had was go to first base, and the second baseman makes the play in time. As Keys advances to second base with one away now, and the top of the order coming back up for Dalton Pompey. Pompey takes strike one here. A one pitch from Arias is on its way. Pompey gets out of the way of that one. It's ball one. Even the count at 1-1. Keys almost even with Kandel at shortstop as he leads off from second base. Have to adjust the cameras between the half inning here. Sorry for the lens flares. As Pompey fouls this one off, the count's now 1-2. And we got some extreme heat warnings in effect in Ontario the last couple of days. Temperatures are only reading about, apparently it says 28 Celsius, but with the humidex and everything else, it's feeling more like 35 to 37 throughout the day. Just hot and sticky days. So please, fans, stay hydrated. That one misses low, and the count is 2-2. Pompey 1 for 2 in the contest. He grounded the first baseman in the first inning and had a single and stole a base in the third. Got left at third base, unfortunately. As the Royals trying to take their first lead of the ball game here. Gets away from Mullen, and Keys is going to trot down to third base. That'll be a pass ball on the play. And a full count to Dalton Pompey now. Robert Mullen having a rough day at the plate tonight. This is unlike him. Arias looks in for the sign for Mullen. The 3-2 pitch to Pompey will be with us momentarily as the infield is now in on the edge of the grass to cut this one down. Pompey chops it up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit, and the Royals take the lead. It's 4-3. Full credit for Dalton Pompey, who took that pitch up the middle past the drawn-in infield, which allowed Brandon Keys to score with ease from third base.
Keys with ease, I like that, Neil.
I mean, a poet and didn't know it. Who knew?
Wow, you're on fire right now. As is Kyle DeGrace, who goes opposite field, and the Royals are threatening it. Dalton Pompey happily turning the corner and coming all the way to third, and 90 feet away with one gone, and the next man up is a guy who doesn't hate this scenario, and we'll let Little Nos and Old Town Road tell you who it is.
Josh Gardy.
First and third for the Royals, as that's going to bring out the pitching coach here. Then we'll talk with Jose Arias anyways. And Robert Mullen.
And far and away, well above Arias's 1.17 ERA has been cashed in already. And with runners on the corners, obviously DeGrace perhaps maybe not the guy you want at first to avoid that double play ball, but Garton, don't let that size of the second baseman fool you, can really move. And I think it's the will and determination of both Garton and DeGrace that could make that double play ball not be a thing if Garton does in fact hit one in the ground, or on the ground rather. But I don't think Josh Garton is thinking about anything on the ground right about now.
No, I think he's going to try to sky one out of here in a hurry.
As it is officially dusk, as you get a good shot from Hastings Stadium. Those lights are bright and that sky is blue, but the sun's setting mightily quickly. Garton swings and goes opposite field.
That's going to score Pompey with ease. DeGrace on his horse. He's making the turn. He's going to stop at third. Josh Garton with the double. And the Royals lead this one 5-3. Scotty had to go around the corner to look for that one.
Still looking. And I know that everyone, especially some people up here in the booth, were saying 3-run shot, 3-run shot. But how much confidence does it give you with a guy like Josh Garton, who is a prototypical home run hitter, a guy who hits for power? You see him take that easy, nice swing to opposite field. That gives you so much more to work with if you're Dino Ramel and the Royals coaching staff from Josh Garton, who just a good piece of hitting. Manufactures a run, brings a runner to third, and puts himself in scoring position with Malik Collymore batting cleanup yet again. At the plate, first base open, and Collymore lays off ball number 1.
Well, Garton did a great job with that at bat there. He just waited for Arias to put it on the outside part of the plate and just put it where it was.
Tried not to do too much with it, and that's sometimes a hitter's biggest Achilles heel, and Josh Garton showing exactly why. He is a relied upon batter here in the top of the order for the Royals, as Collymore looks at one that seemed to be low, but is called to strike to even the count at 1-1. And I mean, I can't speak volumes enough about Josh Garton and that at bat. Collymore fouls one off. Mullen wore it off the dome. Barely even flinched, but nonetheless, it's now 1-2.
Majors had to bring the infield in again here, but they do know Collymore likes to slap the ball past people, right?
And Keith Kandel was just hunched over shallow in at short, looking kind of exhausted, and I feel like that's kind of what the wind in the sails of the majors has been now, just kind of taken away here with this 2-run inning in the bottom of the 5th from the Royals and threatening for a lot more. But again, Guelph not impervious to leaving a lot of base runners on base and most notably in scoring position. 1-2 coming to Collymore, slaps one to short. Kandel on it. Has to pause and make sure Garton and DeGrace stay put. They do. Kandel over to first for the 6-3 putout. There's 2 down, and Justin Terrasano with a purpose making his way back to the plate. Terrasano has a sac fly and an RBI so far this evening. Grounded out his second time up. This is 3rd appearance at the dish in this ball game. And
just a great job by Kandel on that play, too. He just waited that extra half second to see if he could get DeGrace to tip his hand if he was going home or not, and then he threw a bullet across the diamond.
And on the other side of that, a good job by both DeGrace and Garton to freeze and make Kandel wait. It made the throw be a little hurried, but it was on the mark. But that is just teamwork from both sides. This is Terrasano lofts one to center field. That one is caught on the run for out number 3, and to the deepest part of the ballpark, it stays in play and is hauled in for out number 3. But Guelph, with their first lead of the evening, are up 5-3 through 5 innings.
Kids, it's time to run those bases. Head out to the home plate and get ready to go.
Back to the top of the 6th inning, Starling Joseph to lead it off. The Royals brought 2 home in the bottom half of the 5th to give themselves their first lead of this ball game. And Claudio Custodio misses for a rare first pitch ball. And Joseph, who is a nightmare on the path, is 1 for 2. He singled and later scored in his first plate appearance, then struck out in the 3rd inning and is now even at 1-1 with Custodio. And that was maybe a momentum shifting bottom of the 5th for the Royals, Neil. As Claudio now gets another strike call to get ahead of 1-2. And I'm not quite sure that the Royals don't have what it takes here tonight. After that inning, it just really seemed to shift all of the momentum and all of the energy back into this building and into the Royals dugout. Yes, they did leave a few men aboard, and Terracino pumped one to the deepest part of the outfield, but was left in play and pulled in for the 3rd out. But Claudio Custodio, yet another strikeout. Is that going to take all 8 of my fingers and 4 toes? Is that a clean 12, Neil?
That's a clean 12, sir. That's a 12-pack, and he's got everybody at least once this ball game here.
Yeah, Claudio Custodio has struck out every single opposing batter.
Left fielder number 22, Byron Reichstein.
Byron Reichstein, also one of those batters that he has sat down on strikes like every single one of his teammates who has made an appearance at the plate so far. Back at it here with 1 down here in the top of the 6th inning, and a first pitch swung on and missed for a strike. And yet again, I haven't checked the statistics because, Neil, that's your job.
My job.
Definitely not mine.
Let me switch hats here. What do you need, sir?
A few games ago, you mentioned that Claudio was throwing a first pitch strike about 94% of the time.
Yep.
And I would say that number, as high as it already was, has to have climbed since then.
It probably has gone up a percentage point or two. We'd have to check with John Story, who's our analytic guy, after the ball game. I meant to check. I'll definitely check between now and Tuesday night, of course. We have the commissioner in town on Tuesday night. He's going to make a special presentation to Claudio for the Player of the Month award as well. So maybe we'll get Mr. Kastner up in the box as well for before the game. Of course,
we do have a few extra seats and a ton of extra real estate up here. So,
yeah.
Mr. Kastner, if you're listening, come on up.
Baseman Dan Perrier.
As that one is grounded to Garton and thrown over to Terracino for the 4-3 put out for out number 2. And Dan Perrier back to the plate. And again, hate to sound like a broken record, struck out his first time out and then grounded out in his second at bat.
Austin Wilkie is going to be the pinch hitter here for Perrier, which means Reichstein is going to play first base at the end of the half inning.
Now batting, pinch hitter, Austin Wilkie.
Austin Wilkie comes in to hit for Perrier, so a different look for this Majors lineup, and maybe they're feeling that heat that seems to be ever so evident after Guelph was able to string some hits and runs together and give themselves that 5-3 lead in the bottom half of the 5th. And Claudio showing no signs of fatigue with an even dozen Ks already. 0-1.
Majors have got 3 games in 5 days, if I'm not mistaken. A really busy tighter to their schedule. They got, like you said, last night. They had the Maple Leafs last night. They've got us tonight, and then they got the Welland Jackfish tomorrow night at home at the Blatt Park, and then Tuesday night they got the Brantford Red Sox. So
4 games then in 5
4 games,
nights.
yeah, 4 games in 5 nights.
And 3, including themselves, 3 of the top teams, 2 of the top teams that they're facing on back-to-back days, and the Toronto Maple Leafs right up there as well. So the schedule makers are grinning, and
Peel down to first base is not denied. Counts now 1-2.
Wilkie did hold that back. I'm not quite sure what the appeal was trying to prove because it was almost a surprise to the first base umpire. 1-2 coming now. That one he did not swing on. Not even close.
I think Keys is just trying to get the umpire to do some work back there.
It almost seemed that way with that last one, which brings a smile from ear to ear on my face. just a sense of humor, and he does check again.
Wilkie throws the bat away into disgust. Down goes the helmet. Stupid helmet.
Brendan Keys did point back to the first base umpire to appeal on that one as well.
Yeah.
Claudio Custodio with 13 strikeouts. We're halfway through 6 innings. Royals 5, Majors 3.
Now batting right fielder, J.D. Williams.
Home half of the 6th inning. J.D. Williams, Ethan Hammond, and Brendan Keys all due up for the Royals, who have that 2-run lead, and Claudio Custodio just added to the number of great starts he's already had this season. 13 strikeouts through 6 innings of work for the Royals ace, and Arias looking to find a way to keep the Royals off the base path and keep his team within at least 2 runs. They haven't scored a run since the 3rd inning, have the Majors, whereas the Royals have scored a run in the 2nd, in the 3rd, 4th, and then a pair in the 5th. So the offense has really seemed to get some steam behind them and start rolling, but J.D. Williams looks at strike number 2, and without swinging at a baseball yet in this at-bat is 0-2. The 0-2 coming from Arias. Williams now swings in, misses. That's a 3-pitch strikeout from Jose Arias to get the bottom of the 6th started, and Ethan Hammond will follow. Hammond, the lefty, against Arias, the right-handed pitcher. As Neil mentioned, against Frank Garces back on Tuesday, Hammond didn't get a chance to get in because Garces, that lefty pitcher, was just a nightmare for lefty-on-lefty matchups. Ask Josh Garton, who did reach with 2 singles and did his job very well, but it didn't come easy for the Royals' second baseman. So Hammond looking to make his statement in this game after having Tuesday night off, and looks at strike number 1. Hammond grounded out to second twice so far in this game. It was a 4-3 put out both at-bats that he has had so far, and looks at 1 to even the count at ball at 1-1. Brendan Keys, who provided some comedy for all of us in the top half of the inning, is on deck. That one outside or off the plate somewhere to make it 2-1. That looked good from my standpoint, but again, I'm on the corner. Hammond sets and loosens up, and Arias sets and delivers. Hammond slices one foul. So it's now 2-2. Again, Keys due up next. Brando LaRue would follow with one gone here. Hammond looking to get aboard and help the Royals build on that lead, but swings and misses. It fouled off but caught by Mullen for out number 2. So Brendan Keys, who has called a heck of a game behind home plate for the Royals.
Brendan Keys.
Checking the out-of-town scoreboard once again as Keys comes to the plate. The Welland Jackfish leading the Barrie Bearcats in the top of the 8th inning, 6-0. Of course, the 4-run 6 for the Jackfish. Put them in flight, and that's the only scoring in that contest.
So Keys above 300 in terms of batting average now for the first time this season after having 2 base hits and 2 at-bats so far this evening. And again, providing some comic relief in the top half of the 6th. Looking to provide some insurance now for himself and Claudio Custodio defensively. The Royals with that 2-run lead, and Keys with the 2-0 lead in this count.
If you're the Royals here, you got to keep the hammer down on the gas pedal and just keep going. Get some runs any way you can here.
Arias delivers the 2-0 and doesn't get the call there, and it's now 3-0. And if you're Brendan Keys, why even take that bat off your shoulder? Brando LaRue would be next, and we saw what he could do with Arias. That's a called strike for sure. We saw what LaRue could do with Arias with the way that LaRue crowds the plate, and Arias likes to throw inside on righty hitters rather.
Keys fouls that one away. Out of play. That's now a full count to Brandon Keys.
The 3-2 coming from Arias on Keys. Delivered. And misses. And Keys is aboard with a 2-out walk. And Brando LaRue back to the plate.
Now batting your shortstop, Brando LaRue.
LaRue 0 for 2. Struck out and grounded out in his previous appearances this evening, but
he's made Arias work here a lot. The first at bat was 9 pitches. Second at bat was another 5. So he's definitely getting his money's worth every at bat.
So this will be the 15th pitch that he's seen from Arias in the box this evening. So we'll see if he's done his homework so far. And Arias, who has had some issues getting strikes called, somehow misses. And I don't think anyone in the London Majors gray and blues liked that call, including a lot of the teammates in the dugout. 1-0 coming, high, makes it 2-0. I know Brando's not the largest man in the lineup, but that bat looks very massive.
I think he's actually using Connor Morrow's bat, actually. The blue light specials out there.
Am I going to leave that one alone with the blue light special?
You don't know Kmart? Come on. That's what it used to be back in the day. The Kmart used to have the blue light specials.
I know a few other blue light specials that have nothing to do with Kmart.
Not those ones. Get your mind out of the gutter.
It's 2-1 now as we go back to baseball, Neil.
That's baseball.
3-1.
Arias pitching.
Arias showing some real signs of fatigue now and the frustration setting in, hoping that he gets some favorable calls.
104 pitches on the night so far in this heat. Yeah, he's just got to be. He's grasping for air here and just trying to get through this inning.
Yeah. And as you just touched on, 104 and in this heat. This is by far the most humid night we've experienced at this ballpark. And there's been some warm days, but we've been blessed with a decent amount of cool-off period with these late starts since mid-June. And tonight, Arias not getting blessed with that kind of pleasure, and that one was thrown out. And
There's nobody calling for it. He says,
we're not quite sure what's happening here.
Kill it. Let's kill the song. Either, so kill the song. Just kill it.
So a bit of a standoff between the umpire and our in-house DJ. It was clearly ball number 4.
It's ball 4.
And everyone in Hastings crowd,
Ball 4.
I guess there's 5 balls
You
in.
gotta pay attention because you're getting paid to do a job.
And a lot of people here not very happy with the miscount from the home plate umpire. That one chopped by LaRue. And on to first from short, and that is a free out for the London Majors to bring this inning to an end after a 4-ball walk that was missed by the umpires. It's still 5-3 Royals through 6 innings. Drew Lawrence will lead off the top of the 7th inning, and just to confirm,
All right, we'll kill the song.
Brandon LaRue was thrown out on a ground out after a 7-pitch walk or something of that sort. The Royals still have that 5-3 lead, and that is a strike called number 1 and maybe a makeup call. So that one looked
Good throw behind the plate.
wee bit low.
It's a good throw behind the plate.
That one low to even the count at 1-1. Lawrence 1 for 2 with a strikeout, and that one catches the outside corner to make it 1-2. Well off the plate from Custodio to even the count at deuces. And some obvious frustration still reverbing here through Hastings Stadium after the bottom of the 6th.
Custodio at his 90th pitch now. This one's hit down the line. Gonna go roll foul.
That is a backbone of all backbones from Malik Collymore, who likely couldn't have made the play on it in the first place, but man, oh man.
He did a great sell job on that one. It's like, I'm going to just back up and let this one go foul.
See if it and again, I don't know if he would have been able to throw out the base runner Lawrence there at first, even if he came up with it. So that's a veteran's play from the third baseman Collymore for the Royals.
Come on, Royals fans, keep them hands going.
Claudio Custodio with 2 strikes already with Lawrence to lead off here at the top of the 7th. And as Neil mentioned, you don't want to see him over-fatigue himself, but just over 90 pitches now from the Royals ace, and a guy who can easily go 100 or more. But with postseason coming and Claudio likely on off days in terms of pitching, one would bet be called upon to swing the bat a few times in the playoff games when the opportunity presents itself, as that's fouled off by Lawrence. The count is full. It's a 3-2 count to lead off this top of the 7th between Custodio and Lawrence.
Lawrence, of course, like you mentioned, 1 for 2. He's singled and struck out so far. That one's going to get past Intercounty and into right field for a leadoff single.
So Lawrence aboard. And up next is Keith Kandel, and he represents the tying run. No one gone here. Kandel will be followed by Newton and Wright. And then Brownlee would follow, depending on what happens with the next few pitches here. Kandel loosening and now steps into the box. And watch Lawrence at first. Looks eager to take second. And he's off. Hit and run is on. Garton picks it up, but because of that run, Lawrence avoids that double play. Garton able to keep his eye on the ball for a lone out at first, but not before. Lawrence makes his way to second and is now in scoring position with 1 gone.
They'll bring up Jacob Newton, who's 0 for 3 in the contest. He's got a pair of strikeouts and reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Newton came into action second in the league in hitting with a .393 average. That's going to drop a few points tonight, though, with the 0 for 3.
Try to offset that drop here with a base hit, but swinging out of his boots for strike number 1. Custodio checks, delivers that one high to even the count at 1-1. Lawrence, who was so quick to take second, might be thinking about third anytime soon here. But Brando LaRue stuck to him like a dirty T-shirt there, out there at short. Garton, another ground ball to him, over to Intercounty, another 4-3 putout. And Intercounty from Garton records out number 2, and I'm not quite sure why he had to hop towards the dugout, but just 2 gone here. And Taylor Wright now up with a man at third. Wright again represents the tying run. Custodio takes his time, and I think regardless, Neil, one would assume this is Claudio's final inning of this game.
I would think it's probably going to be. Looks like the bullpen's been up a little bit down there anyways. He might come out to the 8th, but with all these pitches and, just where he is in the order too.
And with a guy like Andrew Case to pitch the 9th, you know that it'll be a guy like Brandon Deans or one of the sort that end up maybe just being the 8th inning guy that we don't see all that often in this league. But it looks like Deans might be just that for the Royals, as that one again, Garton, hot shot over to Intercounty for yet another 4-3 putout. That avoids that run being scored. It's still 5-3 Royals halfway through 7. Dalton Pompey to lead it off for the Royals in the bottom of the 7th. Guelph with a 2-run lead. It's 5-3 here. And a brand new pitcher into the game for the London Majors, Neil.
Pedro de los Santos.
Pedro de los Santos, who just loosened up the lefty, will face Dalton Pompey and make Dalton Pompey switch sides of the plate here. So we'll see what Dalton can do as a righty. Swings and cuts at one and can't pull it back in time. It's 0-1. Pompey obviously getting acquainted with De Los Santos, and that pitch a little bit different than what he had seen all evening so far. That evens the count as it's low. It's 1-1. And fans, we do have an online 50-50 here for the Royals. If you like what you see and you want it to get just a little bit better, go ahead and buy into our online 50-50. All proceeds go to our broadcast. And what's good for us is good for you watching from home. And the in-house 50-50 here tonight was well over $600. So if you can't make it online, make it in person and come cheer on our Royals as they make their playoff push in the home stretch of the regular season. That one fouled back behind home plate. Mullen can't find it in the lights of Hastings Stadium, and Pompey stays alive.
Pompey 2 for 3 so far. He singled in the first. Sorry, he grounded out into the first baseman in the first inning. Singled in the third. In the fifth inning, he got a single and an RBI and scored a run. He's got a new life here, or a second life, anyways.
And Dalton, again, not the power hitter that maybe you would think coming from the majors he would be that guy who's going to pump baseballs. That was never his ball game. But a patient hitter and saw it off, and a broken bat single to lead it off for the Royals. And Kyle DeGrace now, perhaps the beneficiary of that bat that died a hero this time, Neil.
It definitely did. Still going to hurt the wallet, but, you know, at least it died a hero.
So Pompey at first, and with the lefty Del Santos on the mound, we'll see if he keeps a close eye on Pompey, who will be directly in his eye line as he sets. But Pompey always a threat to steal, and especially in this juncture of this ball game. Watch for him to take off on first movement once he gets Del Santos' timing down. And DeGrace fouls tips that one, but into the glove, and that makes it 1-1. And even if Dalton doesn't take second base, it is just in the back of the mind of the Majors pitcher now, and that might make Kyle DeGrace's at-bat just a little bit easier here. That one low and overthrown to make it 2-1.
2-1, I got the count.
Grace has got a huge hole in that right side if he can put it through there. Pompey could go first to third with ease.
And with Garton on deck, you know that Del Santos does not want to give DeGrace an easy pass, which would also put Pompey into scoring position. And as a lefty, that's a whole heck of a lot of trouble with a guy who can run like Pompey does, and he takes off, no throw. Dalton is in there.
It's ball 4.
That would be why there was no throw. Pompey was expecting one to come as he ducked for cover. And now no one gone, 2 men on. Pompey at second, and Josh Garton.
Josh Garton
Coming back to the plate. It'll be a lefty on lefty, and don't let that matchup fool you. Garton has chewed lefty pitchers apart so far this season. And if De Los Santos pitches the way he's thrown so far through 2 batters, Garton will be all over this baseball. After having a good view, a front row seat from De Los Santos on Pompey, and then DeGrace, Garton gets his shot now. Swings at the first one. He sees that one is a fair ball. Josh Garton pulls one all the way down the right field line. That'll score Dalton Pompey. Kyle DeGrace to third. Garton with a RBI double to extend the Royals' lead to 6-3 and calls time.
Now batting third baseman Malik Collymore.
So again, no one gone. Collymore to the plate. First base is open, and as we've seen, I'd say countless times so far here on home field, Neil, Sean Riley, who's been just given the free pass, not even a pitch out, just intentional walk.
He got the free pass to one night from the on deck circle. He didn't even put the bat. He didn't even take the bat to the on deck out of the on deck circle. He just took the walk.
That is confidence at its peak, and Collymore looks at strike number one from De Los Santos. Sean Riley, of course, working tonight for station, I believe it's station 411 out in Toronto Fire, so we'll give a shout out to those guys for all the hard work they do and their commitment, and De Los Santos does not like that.
He's asking the umpire where the strike is, or where was it anyways, at least looking for location. Made the wave like it was outside or something, and then nodded his head.
So it's 1-1 now. That one again misses. Makes it 2-1. And after the Royals had so much trouble getting base runners aboard in the early going of this ball game, yes, they did score in the bottom of the second and then went on to score in the third, the fourth, and the fifth. It seems like they've really found a way to just chip away.
As you said, Collymore went around on the swing.
Which is a tough call to make as the home plate umpire, but nonetheless, it evens the count at 2-2. This could be a huge, huge next pitch. 2 men on. The Royals with a 3-run lead. Collymore fouls and fights it off, and oh my, that could have been trouble. London Majors video man Chris Pomade on there just dodged that foul ball as it came in hot and quick and came off the backside of one of the stands, and all it left was a dent. So the 2-2 coming again from De Los Santos on Collymore. High and outside. Count is now full. First base is again open.
Of course, manager Dino Ramel has always alluded to the Royals are just pounding the rocks here. So, as they might have been struggling in the early innings, they were still pounding away, wearing the rock down a little bit here as the Majors, as Collymore hits foul this one again.
Again, into another set of bleachers that might have caught a fan that time off a few hops, but it looked like it bounced off the shin of a fan that shook it off a lot better than I would have, I can tell you that. As the hands of Hastings come together here with the full count, no one gone, Collymore at the dish, Garton at second, DeGrace at third. De Los Santos pauses. And is now set to go. The wind delivers. Collymore again into the stands, and a good catch by one of our young fans there to keep everyone else out of harm's way. But not for nothing, Malik Collymore making De Los Santos work for this out. Has to be getting close to double digits in this at bat in terms of pitches. The 3-2 yet again. Collymore fouled off over the grandstands, and again, doing his job with no one gone here and giving Justin Interessano, who looks eager beaver.
11th pitch of the at-bat due up here now. Collymore is getting his money's worth and then some.
Make it a dozen coming up next in a 3-2 count. Garton out there having a conversation with Kandel and gives him a little wave off. I'm sure it's all in good fun. And Josh, as he always does, just throws his hands up in the air and says, I don't know. Collymore again, the 12th pitch of the at-bat. High, and he will take first base. The bases are now juiced for Justin Interessano.
Patience was rewarded there as he battled to the Santos for 12 plus pitches there.
A small conference on the mound going to happen with the London Majors. Robert Owen out there and Bill Santos listening and learning perhaps.
Pitching coach is done out there. Probably just telling Los Santos, hey, relax, get a ground ball, get out of this.
And knowing Justin Interessano the way we do, after he hit that ball so high and deep to right center field, his last time out, to the deepest part of the territory here at Hastings.
I wouldn't be surprised he hits a gap now.
Exactly. He's not going to be a guy who's going to try to hit one higher and further to the same spot. He's going to find an opening, which would be about where he hit it last time in right center there. The huge gap between the center fielder and the right fielder. And with no one gone, Interessano looks at strike number one. Del Santos' only saving grace here with Interessano at the plate is lefty on lefty. The 0-1 coming. Interessano looks at one well out of the zone for strike number two.
I don't know if he called it on the strike or he thought Interessano's momentum took him through the strike zone.
That would be more likely, but I did not see that bat leave anywhere past his back shoulder. So, regardless, 0-2. That one's high to make it 1-2. So Interessano obviously protecting the strike zone after that first called strike that may or may not have been well within the zone or not, but able to lay off that one to make it 1-2, and Del Santos will set to deliver the fourth pitch of this at-bat. Interessano pokes one to a hole. That'll score to Grace. Garton into home. Throwing out. And tagged. And the crowd doesn't like it. Josh Garton doesn't like it, but nonetheless, that is an RBI and an out. So the Royals now lead 7-3. Justin Interessano to first, Malik Collymore to third. Runners on the corners.
J.D. Williams.
So after Garton was gunned down at home, it's 7-3 Royals. Williams at the plate. Swings at the first one he sees. That goes up the gut. On to second for one. Williams gunned down to turn the double play, and the Royals get one but leave yet another small village stranded. It's 7-3 Royals through 7 innings from Hastings Stadium. Brandon Dean's into the game for the Royals, the 8th inning man that has just kind of been Dino Ramel's reliable kind of guy for this juncture, and going to have to be relied upon once again with Cleveland Brownlee and Robert Mullen due up 1-2 in this inning. Starling Joseph will round out the order that is due up for the majors. Deans misses for ball number 1. The 1-0 coming from Deans. Swung on and fouled straight back by Brownlee. Evens it up at 1-1. 1-1 now from Deans. Brownlee pulls one, and it is out of play and foul to make it 1-2. One-two coming from Deans. Keys cannot hang on to it. That one misses either way. Evens the count at 2-2.
Final in from Welland. The Jackfish defeated the Barrie Baycats 6-1. So if the score holds, Welland's got a 1-game lead on the majors in the standings for first place, with a big game set for tomorrow night at Labatt Park.
And then would remain 2 games up on the Royals if the score holds, as that is a strikeout. Brownlee chugging his way down to first and is hit by the throw. He was inside the base path, so one would assume that that would be an out.
I don't know if they're going to confer on this one or not. Doesn't look like they are.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they are, and none too surprised as Cleveland Brownlee was inside the base path and in the field of play. If I'm not mistaken, that should be an automatic out. Brownlee out of the game. He will be replaced by a pinch runner. Just getting that number off our game sheet real quick. So Brownlee is ruled safe at first with a leadoff single. Mullen takes one inside for ball number 1. Deans checks first. Now settles in on Mullen. Checks over at first yet again. A couple glances, actually. Mullen over to LaRue for 1. On to Terracino. That is a 6-4-3 double play. LaRue, Garton, and Terracino. And quickly, Brandon Deans has 2 down here with a 4-run lead in the top of the 8th inning. Starling Joseph making his way back into the batter's box. That one low and misses for ball 1. Deans delivers the 1-0 and misses again. It's 2-0. Again, even with a 4-run lead, Starling Joseph is not a guy you want to let get on base. Swings and misses to make it 1-2, or 2-1, excuse me. With 2 gone. Deans exhales. Deans gives Keys the nod and then delivers. That one misses on the outside to make it 3-1. Three-one coming. Joseph pops it up behind home plate. Deans takes his mask off. Might have a play. Keys, rather. Oh, and Brandon Keys cannot haul it in underneath those bright lights of Hastings Stadium. That would have gotten him and Deans out of this inning. Keys, a valiant effort, just needs to put that one behind him and get the next strike. It is a full count as Starling Joseph gets another shot at life.
He throws that inside ball that he threw to get that strike. He's going to get him there.
The hands of Hastings Stadium come together here with a full count as Brandon Deans and Brendan Keys set to deliver the payoff. Swung on and fouled straight back by Joseph, who yet again gets another shot.
Let's go, Royals fans. Put them hands together.
Payoff coming yet again. Deans delivers. That one doesn't get the call and misses low and outside. Starling Joseph is aboard with a 2-out walk.
Byron Reichstein will come to the plate now.
Now batting the first baseman, Byron Reichstein.
Reichstein is 1 for 3 with a run scored. And with Starling Joseph at first, you know Brandon Deans' mind is all about picking him off as he, on cue, looks over at Joseph, who will likely be looking to steal second. But with 2 gone here and a 4-run deficit, I wonder when the right time is to call it. Deans checks, delivers to home plate outside. Keys hangs on to it, makes it 1-1. Deans checks over to Joseph. Watch him go. Deans checks 3 or 4 times now. Now delivers. Outside, 2-1. Just wondering when Joseph's going to take flight because it looks like it's imminent. Fouled off behind the Royals dugout, out of play. Evens the count at 2-2. Two and two now the count here with 2 gone. Joseph at first. Deans peeks over and now sets. Swung on and missed. Brandon Deans gets himself out of it. That 4-run lead remains intact. Halfway through 8, it's Royals 7, Majors 3. Hammond leading it off here with the Royals up 7-3 into the bottom of the 8th inning. Anderson Azevedo on the mound for the Majors now.
That's going to make Jackie his wife's night for sure.
Jinx.
She's watching in Texas and hope she's enjoying the ball game.
Azevedo deals his first of the evening. That one's high on Hammond for ball number 1. Hammond still looking for his first hit of the evening. And might find it there and does. A leadoff single to right field through the gap. Brendan Keys back to the plate now.
Now batting the catcher, Brendan Key.
Keys again hitting above 300 now. He's 2 for 2 with a walk as well. This is 4th appearance at the dish this evening. Brando LaRue is next. Hammond at first with a 4-run cushion. You think he will be very, very conservative. Azevedo checks him, delivers to Keys, who shows bunt, and another perfect bunt from Brendan Keys. That one high, but hauled in, and the tag made on time for out number 1, but not before Hammond gets to second, and that could have been a whole world of hurt if Keys got aboard safely.
Now batting the shortstop, Brando LaRue.
Brando LaRue now, the 9-hitter. This is where the speed will kill you. And as the old adage goes, speed kills. Goes LaRue and then Pompey with Hammond at second, who can move as the left fielder. Foot speed is not lost on the man 180 feet from home, and with a 4-run lead, another one would be fantastic here for Guelph. As Azevedo steps off and makes sure that Hammond stays honest there at second. LaRue right over top of the plate as per usual. Hammond now inches his way towards third. And that one inside and looked a little closer than perhaps it actually was with LaRue and his proximity to that home plate. I think his tiptoes actually might be just a grain of sand or dirt away from actually touching the plate. And that one chin music and backs him off perhaps a little bit. Makes it 2-0.
That one definitely broke a lot later than LaRue thought it was going to.
Still not called a strike, but yeah, LaRue kind of reacted as if it was coming up and in. 2-0 coming now. And that one catches him, and that is the dangerous game you play as a batter when you stand that close. It's a free base, and Dalton Pompey back to the plate now, and this could really put this game to This could really put this game to bed here if Dalton Pompey can either find his way aboard and or score Hammond or LaRue or both. And Azevedo with some location issues so far here with just 1 out under his belt. Has to face perhaps the most patient hitter in the entire IBL with Pompey at the plate. Azevedo deals well outside. And don't forget, so now I believe London's gone through 3 pitchers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And they do have to travel home tonight and then have to prepare for the Well and Jackfish in London tomorrow. So Azevedo's probably their guy here, and with a 7-3 lead, as that one's misplayed, with a 7-3 lead for the Royals, and likely, unless lightning strikes a few times for the Majors in the top of the 9th, you would assume Azevedo is the final pitcher that you would see from London this evening, and with that date with the Jackfish tomorrow, that would ring even more true, one would think. It is 2-0 for Pompey at the plate, and 2-0 coming from Azevedo now, 3-0.
Acevedo got into action last night, so did De Los Santos as well against the Maple Leafs.
So 2 guys throwing back-to-back nights is never something you want to see, and that is a 4-pitch walk. And Dalton Pompey takes his free pass happily to load the bases with 1 gone, and Kyle DeGrace making his way back to the box.
And now your designated hitter, Kyle DeGrace.
And Acevedo, just like many other pitchers in this league, trying to get enough appearances and enough innings to qualify for postseason. So that's probably why he's working on back-to-back nights.
And that's the... Ooh, that one's inside. And that is the devil of the season, is the fact when you add guys late in the season, you need to make sure that they qualify. So that might mean in the final 10 games or so where we stand, you might have to kind of work a guy a little too much right before the playoffs.
Exactly.
Mr. Grace looked at one high and inside, and Azevedo, that one misses low and outside and in the dirt, but that one will stay in front of the catcher. As both base runners, all 3 base runners rather, stay at first, second, and third for the Royals.
Fernando Fernandez started last night for the Maple Leafs, against the Maple Leafs. Los Santos and then Acevedo, and then of course Braden Farrington came in to close the ball game out last night.
Garton just left the dugout as it's 3-0, so he is now on deck officially. And one would think now with Azevedo, no disrespect, has had some struggles here in his first third of an inning of work officially. Had some struggles finding the strike zone, so Kyle DeGrace happy to take a RBI walk here. That one is in there for a strike. Some fans and volunteer umpires disagreed, but clearly
Little Bronx cheer going on.
Clearly a strike on the inside part of the plate to make it 3-1. DeGrace chops one to third. That one picked up and then over to first. Double play, and that gets the Majors out of it. Hammond did cross home, but that will not count. It remains 7-3 here. Into the top of the ninth, rather, we go. Guelph with a 4-run lead. Andrew Case into the game for the Royals to close it out with a 7-3 lead. Austin Wilkie leading it off in the top of the ninth, and there will be no other defensive substitutions for Dino Ramel. Just Case, who is looking to throw the gavel down here. First pitch misses for a ball, and the over-under on Andrew Case's total pitches in this inning up here in the press box is 11 and a half. That one laced by Wilkie. Pompey is underneath it, out number one. So that's two. Two pitches under Case's belt, so about 9.5 to hit the over, and anything less would hit the under. Not that we endorse gambling, but just a friendly wager or two. Andrew Lawrence, who has reached base a few times so far this evening, 1 or 2 for 3 rather, and has been left stranded at second and third both times he has gone aboard. It's 1-0, and then again another one hit well to center field, and Dalton Pompey out number 2. Four pitches, 2 outs from Andrew Case, and Keith Kandel looking to keep the flame alive. Get it, Neil? Keith Kandel, flame alive. Get it?
I got it.
And with a major task ahead of him.
Oh, man.
Knock, knock, knock. Case delivers.
The
with
puns
2
are
gone.
flying tonight.
Kandel looks at strike number 1. It's 0-1 now. Case efficient as ever. That one doesn't get the call, and it is 1-1. That one does. It's 1-2.
All right, Royals fans, let's get on your feet.
All 3,000 fans in Hastings Stadium on their toes. Andrew Case closed. Throw the gavel down. Your Honor, I rest my case. Royals win 7-3 and are now just 1 game back of the majors. What a huge win, Neil, from a team that needed it against a team that they will likely see again in the postseason.
Well, the Royals are very hard to beat at home, that's for sure. And we're now 15-2 on the season at home here. That's just crazy.
And without Sean Riley and without Connor Morrow in the lineup against a very good Royals team, or Majors team, excuse me, with Jose Arias on the bump to start, a character win from Dino Ramel's team that are all smiles, as we will close it out on behalf of Neil Sriwasa and everyone else here at Hastings Stadium. I'm Scott Fraser saying thank you and good night.